Hi everyone, this is Norman Kochnick here. I'm on live on YouTube today to discuss what has been an amazing day of, well, ecstasy for India, an absolute shock and a mess for Australia. When you consider the state of affairs here, we have a situation where Australia are looking down the barrel of a massive defeat. They look like they're the one on the outer. They don't look like a team that actually have a clue what they're doing. But then at the same time, India's ascendancy is beyond belief. It really is. It's one of the most sensational days of dominance from India that I've ever seen. And the reality is it's so early in the piece. Today's crowd was some 26,166, which is for Perth quite reasonable. So day 131, day 232, day 326, but a total of 89,836. Now, that's not bad, but I think there's probably 89 million watching back in India right now and would be ecstatic about the situation. And I mean, I can't talk highly enough about the way that India have gone about this. I'm not what I would surprise. I'm not going to say I'm surprised because I think that it was due to happen. India were really, in terms of their Australian dominance, have been building. The previous series, they came back and really smacked us with 9 out of the 11 players injured. They actually were left with a team that was decimated, and the likes of Washington Sundar, Shardul Thakur, and of course Rishabh Pant tore us apart in the most incredible way in Brisbane, and it was a fairy tale victory. And remember, the people I spoke to, they were just amazed at the way in which India came back and won that series. All the people I spoke to in Australia thought it was magnificent. It's going to be the same today. If I go out there, there'll be people still shocked about the way India are playing. But it's no longer a shock. It's more of an expectation because they've got such a dominance. Look at Virat Kohli today, 100 not out. A man that's up against it, they say, seriously has taken the charge and has gone amazingly towards doing what he only knows the best, scoring centuries and getting runs in Australia for India. Pat should hear sent before Pat comes in. Okay. Manu John saying that Labuschagne should have won it before him. Yes, but Pat Cummins showed guts. Labuschagne to me has got no guts. Labuschagne mouths off like a goose and got what he deserved. He was out again cheaply. Labuschagne's first inning was atrocious. His second inning was like a deer in front of headlights. To me, I don't think, in my opinion, he should be in the side anymore. I know he got 4,000 runs in a hell of a hurry and did very well, and 11 centuries and's got a pretty healthy average. But he's got this mentality that's actually toxic for Australia, in my opinion. He mouths off without any air. He thinks he's a good bowler, and he's embarrassed me and my fellow Australians with this, and I don't think much of him. Norman will be the Indian juggernaut tough to stop. The Indian juggernaut's going to be impossible to stop. To me, they have got no hope. Australia will be all out for probably less than this. They scored in the first innings. They've got 104 in the first innings. They'll struggle to get the runs tomorrow. Any runs. The only person I think is going to stand up for himself is Khawaja. I think he's admirably batted even tonight. He's got the temperament for Australian cricket and should even be a potential captain, in my opinion. Labuschagne, I have had little faith in, even though he's gone well at the runs. I knew there'd be a day when he would start to fail and start to get caught up by his so-called dominance, and he would go on a massive slide, and that's what's happening. With Steve Smith, didn't go out tonight for his luck, is also destined to fail. I don't want to overplay that, but Steve Smith's on the way out, whereas Virat Kohli showed his strength today, scoring a massive century. Then we've got the future of Indian cricket with Jaswal. The way he batted was just ginormous. It was a magnificent performance by Jaswal today. 161. It was just one of those innings that put himself on the map. He really has put himself on the map. It's just mind-blowing how much this man's put himself on the map. Quite seriously. I mean, look at the stats of today. There's some amazing stats that are coming out of the game. There's so many firsts, but India's dominance of Australia will continue now. The fact that Australia have failed in their first test match of a series, scoring 104 runs, I have not seen before. I think it's since someone quoted 1952. I haven't seen Australia fail so badly in a first single test match ever. They notoriously, or not notoriously, they fantastically, Australia have always got runs in their first innings of a first test match. So they've scored big, they've set the tone, scored 300 or 400, and really smacked most teams. They're often in Brisbane, but here it's in Perth. They've smacked most teams. But this time around, Australia have been dominated. India certainly went not well on the first innings. They got 150, and Australia thought, this is going to be an easy cakewalk. Then India came out with Gautam Gambhir. I tell you what, he's proving to be quite a coach. He goes out there and says to guys like Natish Reddy, you go out there as a warrior and you fight like all hell. And he did that in the first innings with Rishabh Pant, and that was amazing. So that a hole got him to 150. Then in the bowling department, Bumrah led from the captaincy role with a great charge. Young Rana was a fantastic bowler as well. Of course, Siraj's eyes popping out of his head. Got Australia out for a measly 104. Then the openers, KL Rahul, with his experience and the young gun, future immortal potentially, is Jaswal. Look at them. They got a magnificent opening set of 201. And then they ended up continuing on with the likes of Kohli and his 100 and really reaching a score that, I would never have imagined they would have gotten. It's just phenomenal. They really, really deserved a massive pat on the back. They just simply have taken Australia, torn Australia apart in a way that I would never have expected. Never have ever have expected this result. Although, having said that, now we're going to have to expect it because India are not only do they play well today, they've got the depth in their talents. Don't forget, Rohit Sharma's due back. He was actually witnessed in Perth arriving at the game today. Shubman Gill's also going to be back probably the next test or so. Then you got Mohammad Shami there. They've got oodles of talent. It's quite staggering. It's one of those situations I would never expect. So let's just have a look at the performance of India, 150, 104. Then you look at the innings of today, which India finished 6 declared for 487. Imagine that. 6 declared for 487. I can't imagine that India would ever dream of going that. They've just done it. Not only have they done it in this Test series, which we'd expect towards the end when Australia perhaps taper off, they've done it in the first Test match. Now, with this momentum, Australia's going to really suffer. They're going to have to pull their act together very quickly, which is going to be very, very hard. Labuschagne's going to be targeted. Smith will be targeted. Again, the only batsman that I think will actually stand up will be Khawaja. McSweeney, I feel sorry for him. He's not an opener. McSweeney is not an opener. McSweeney is not an opener. Why is Australia selecting non-openers as openers? I've heard Khawaja, I've heard Warner recently on Foxtel say, oh, look, anyone can be an opener. Anyone. Look at us. We're openers. Look at we're just got to adapt. Bullshit. Absolute crap. That's just completely wrong. It's flawed. It's flawed selections-wise. It's flawed mentality-wise. An opener is an opener. Full stop. The history of cricket will tell you an opener is someone who should be an opener. Maybe there can be stopgap openers, but they should be openers. Jaswal is an opener. He's proven it. KL Rahul is an opener. He's proven it. The reality is Paddy Cole got 25. He even batted quite well. But Kohli's 100 of 143 balls, 8 fours, 2 sixes was amazing. Rishabh Pant and Jarrell both failed, but that didn't matter because they had the strength in numbers. Washington Sundar, what a player. He proved last time in Australia he was a champion. He's a worthy a selection. Good selection by India. Ashwin and Jadeja, very good players. We know, great history. But they played on Washington Sundar knowing his history here has been fantastic, especially in Brisbane. Get him in there. I wish Shardul Thakur was there, by the way. Then you have Nitish Kumar Reddy. My God, he's like a Shardul Thakur. Excellent guts in the way he batted. He got 38 today, not out. He got 41 in the first innings, and he bowled with great heart. There's a man who's taken the Shardul Thakur mould. Next man up, as they say. Bumrah chucks. No, Bumrah doesn't chuck. Who's written that? Oops, Norman. This is going to be tough. Hopefully, Aussies block tomorrow. Aussies block. They block. They'll be no more than 104. The only man who's going to redeem himself is Kawaja. Smith's under amazing pressure. I don't think he's going to handle it. Travis Head won't matter. He won't be enough runs. Mitch Marsh, I do like him. I'll be okay. Carey tries round. The bowlers, all the quartet are pretty good, but they haven't proven this will be good in the second innings. Only Lyons stood up somewhat with his 2 wickets. The rest were pretty steady, but they didn't break through. It's very interesting. So, I mean, look at Mitchell Stark's figures. 1 for 111 off 28 overs, 26 overs, commendable. Josh Hazel was excellent in terms of his economy rate. 1 for 28 off 21. That's pretty amazing. But India knew what to do with him. They knew to play him out. Pat Cummins, 1 for 86 off 25. Reasonably steady. Those three guys now, between them, have bowled 76 overs in this match. Or was it in fact, no. 47 is 72 overs in this match. 72 overs. They're going to be cooked. They've got a bit of a gap between this and the second test in Adelaide, which I will be there for live. So don't worry, I'll be there live. Mitch Marsh, 12 overs, 1 for 65. Nathan Lyon, 39 overs, amazing, 1 for 96. But it doesn't matter. They bowled well, but they didn't crack into India's might, and his mental strength is amazing. What the hell is Labuschagne bowling for? None for 38 off 6.3. Rubbish. Who's dictating? Is Labuschagne like a kid pulling on Pat Cummins' leg saying, I want to bowl. There was that great headline that said, well, we know when Marnus Labuschagne is bowling that we're in trouble. We're in big trouble. You see the headline that I think I put it on my socials. When Marnus Labuschagne is bowling for Australia, we are in big trouble. It proved that today. Travis Head, none for 26 off 5. Pretty useless, I'm sorry. Then McSweeney. Do we continue with McSweeney? They probably may give him a go second test. Sam Costas, I reckon, would have handled it better. He's a true opener. I'll go back to the situation of bowlers in a minute, but I do believe in the batting department we need to bat people in the position they're meant to be. Now, other than most young-blooded players, Ricky Ponting was a classic, batted number 6 for Australia, worked his way up to first drop. McSweeney, potential future Australian captain, shouldn't have been opening. Maybe he should have batted towards the middle to lower order, and they should have put an opener who plays as an opener. Young Costas, they should have given him a go. Even though he had a bit of a few failures just before the test, he should have been given a go. Oh my God, Labuschagne, I'm losing patience with him big time. And Steve Smith wants to finish playing for Australia on a high. I would argue Steve Smith should be finishing playing with Australia on a high. Look at this 1948 invincible side behind me, and that man above me, Don Bradman. Those guys had quality. They were invincible. The Keith Millers of the world, the Arthur Morrises, the Neil Harvey, who's still alive at 96, of course, Don Bradman. They're men of class. When Neil Harvey, who was in this picture, was 20 years of age, he played in 1948, he ended up becoming a chairman of selectors for Australia and selected an amazing team, which he stuck to. The Lillies, the Chappells, the Walters, the Max Walkers, that was Jeff Thompson's, and it was a quality side. And he always tells me that as a captain, you've got to respect both the players you have and respect your position and be in position. Look what's happening. They're all over the joint. McSweeney, and look, I like George Bailey as a selector, but I don't know who's advising him. Dollarmain's there with him as well. I think they're making some crucial mistakes. You bat a man in position as best you can. You blood upper order batsmen sometimes in the middle order, but work their way up to upper order. But in terms of an opening position for Australia, you put a person who is an opener in form in that position. Kawaja, even though he may not necessarily have been an opener, is an opener in his quality, and he's proved that way. Dave Warner was never an opener. Even though he did well, he was never an opener. He was a dasher. Travis Head's never going to be an opener. Mitch Marsh is not an opener. Steve Smith clearly is not an opener. He proved that recently with his form in tests. Let's go back to reality and pick an opener in an opening position, such as Sam Costas. He is the man I would pick. I even argue that the likes of Harris from Victoria may be more appropriate because he isn't an actual opener. Bancroft has been in poor form. You can't consider him anymore, but he is an opener. That's the key, and they've made that mistake. They've proven here. Look at the way that McSweeney batted. Three balls from Bumrah going away in the second innings, one coming in. He was back on his stumps with his awful position of his feet and was LBW, a man who is inexperienced and opener, was proven to be the way he batted. Khawaja's still there. Commendable to him. So, again, back to the series for a minute. I mentioned earlier the way that India, over the last so many series of or more than 10 years now, have been able to get over the top of Australia in Australia. What they're doing now is not only just dominating as the series grows, which is 5 tests, they're dominating from ball one, which is extremely rare. Again, Australia almost always dominates, whether it's England or West Indies, Pakistan, even India in the long-term past. They've dominated from day one and crunched the sides early with a total in the 400s. Ponting was notorious with it. Under Mark Taylor, under Steve Waugh, under Border, they did their level best early on, especially from Steve Waugh's era onwards. They did well, and even Michael Clark did that. His team dominated, but dominated from ball one. Usually won the toss and batted first. This time, India won the toss. What did they do? They batted first. Now, admittedly, they only got 150, but they came back with a bowling. Bumrah led as a true captain does with his own example, his own lead. Incredible. Rohit Gill Sharmi is waiting, yes. It's very true, Rishabh Srivastava. The fact is, who was, well, I'll tell you what, Raquel Rahul's played himself back into this side. Jaswal's obviously going to open. It's fair to say that in the next test you'll see Jaswal and Rohit Sharma opening if Rohit's available, which he seems to be. He'll be playing in the next test, well, not test, the next match against the Prime Minister's 11 in Canberra. So effectively, you'll have Jaswal and Rohit Sharma opening again. I think Rahul will probably drop down the order, and Gill will come in as well. We'll see probably Jurel will probably have to have a miss, and Padikkal will miss. Even though Padikkal was commendable in second innings with his 25, Padikkal and Jurel will go. Sharma and Gill will come in, which leaves a very strong batting lineup. Jaswal, Rohit Sharma, Gill, Punt as well. Obviously, Kohli and Rahul will be in that upper order. I think Washington Sundar will continue to keep his spot, and they'll keep the bowling lineup as well, with the likes of Siraj, obviously Bumrah and Harana. Rishabh Pant will stay there as keeper and will be there as his batting ability as well. Probably, so we'll go through that lineup again. Rohit Sharma, Jaswal, Gill, Kohli, Punt, Rahul. Then you got Washington Sundar at 7. And then you got Bumrah, Siraj, and Rana in there as well. Who am I missing out? I'm missing out a player, aren't I? That's 10. Who am I missing out? Let me just pick. Let's see who. I'm missing a player. Oh, of course, Reddy as well. Reddy will be in that middle order. So we'll go through it again. Sharma with the likes of Jaswal. Then you'll have at 3 Gill, 4 Kohli, 5 possibly Punt or Rahul. Reddy, then you'll have the likes of Bumrah, Siraj, Rana, and Washington Sundar. There's your 11, and what a magnificent 11. They're going to give Australia one hell of a headache. Labu needs to be removed from the second test. Manajan, I agree. It's about not only his batting, he's failed twice in this innings, it's also his mentality, his attitude. He's out there chirping away, and it's just rising up to the surface. And India are boiling and ready to take him on. India's winning the medal battle with Labuschagne. He should shut the hell up, to be honest with you. Okay, so going back to the Australian side a minute, 104 in the first innings, 3 for 12 in the second innings. It looks like a second-rate touring side coming to Australian playing, not a team that dominates. So Australia's lost 13 wickets for 116. Quite incredible. It's quite disgusting. I'm very disappointed. I know it might sound alarmist, but I don't think Labuschagne should be there. I don't think that Smith should be there. Now, I'll give them a bit of a chance in the second test. Or now in the second innings, they've only got Smith that can do anything really, except for. So you have an Australian team. I reckon if they've got guts, they'll put Costas in next match. They'll join him with Khawaja. Don't even think about Warner. Warner will not be asked back. He's retired. they've got to consider other batters in that order. Curtis Patterson, I still think from New South Wales is worthy of attention. He could well be considered as well. McSweeney, will you give him another go? I think you have to give him another go, but lower in the order. Anyway, so wait and see what Australia listen to that. It'll be interesting the way they approach it with the bowling lineup. If they're four or they're three, the bowling quartet, including bowled what in total 111 overs between the four of them, 111, averaging 25, 27 a bowler. They're going to be bloody tired next test. Admittedly, it's a bit of a gap, which will help Australia, but they're going to want to make sure they treat those guys with some caution. Now, what was the outcome of the first test match today? I can wait. As I said, I'll repeat it again. Of course, India's first in 150 was a concern, but then they smashed Australia, got them all out for 104. They had a 46-run lead on that first innings, and then they came out today and they ended up with 6 for 487. Not forgetting they had a massive 201 opening run partnership. 201 run opening partnership in the first test match of the series. An opposition team never gets that sort of start. Even though they didn't do well in the first innings, they made up for it in spades in the second. What a magnificent opening partnership. None for 201, leaving the day ending at 6 for 487 with a lot of contributions. Obviously, Rahul with his 77, Jaswal's magnificent 161. Virat Kohli, yet again, not out 100. Fabulous. Padikkal looks pretty solid for his 25. Then Reddy, oh my God, 41 in the first, 38 in the second. India found some great all-rounders. They had Shardul Thakur last series. Now they got Reddy this series. And the young Rana was a very fiery bowler. Really determined, warrior-like bowling. And that comes from who? Gautam Gambhir. Ravi Shastri's have got a similar character previously. And obviously, Dravid is a very good coach. But Gambhir has taken this, we're going to kill them attitude and be warriors attitude into the next stage. And he's done well. Do you think quick and fast wicket suits India more than a spinning wicket? That's a great question. Does India now favour fast bowling wickets as opposed to spin wickets? I'm afraid there's been a bit of a change with India. They certainly have somewhat concentrated on the faster bowling, fast wickets in terms of their batting and their bowling. And they've got the likes of Siraj Bumrah and now Rana coming into the attack. And Washington Sundar emerging as their spin bowler. With both Jadeja and Ashwin, they've relied on them heavily and they've done very, very well for a long time, especially on home wickets. They can't be discounted at all. The batting side of India, well, having lost to New Zealand at home quite convincingly, in fact, they were thumped by New Zealand, set them up as a bit of a rude shock. But what's actually happened is, and it's quite amazing, India actually now have really woken up and they've realised that, hey, they've got to win 4, if not 5 of these test matches in this series against Australia to have any chance of making the World Test Championship next year, which they cherish. Having been to them now, they want to continue. They want to not only play, but win one, with New Zealand winning the first and Australia winning the second. To me, and in fact, India were the losing side of both of those series. They want to win one, and they're not happy with being on the potential outer. Who on earth would ever think Sri Lanka or South Africa would make the World Test Championship final? I certainly wouldn't. The reality is that India have to win 4, if not 5 of these tests. And they've gone in with this attitude, we're going to bloody well make the World Test Championship. We're going to beat Australia, not towards the end of the series, but from day one. Don't forget last time, India were all out for 36 and they got hit really hard, knocked in the face, knocked down, they got back up. And Rahane came back and absolutely led the team well, and Kohli was there at the end. The reality is they had a great fight and they won the series. This time around, they're starting the series with a great fight. I can't see them letting go. They're going to be on the neck of Australia. They're going to put their foot on the neck and have a real stranglehold in the series and dominate. Now, let's see how much guts Australia's got. Pat Cummins is very noble. He went out today as the so-called first drop, night watchman. Give him credit for that. He got out, but give him credit for that. I think he's pretty good, but is he the long-term captain? I'm not sure. Steve Smith, a day of reckoning tomorrow. If he gets out for a paltry score, his career has to be looked at very carefully, and this could be his last series. Australia are now shell-shocked from day one, from ball one. They bowled pretty well, Australia. Yesterday, they've got 4 very experienced bowlers, all with 250 wickets plus. But Bumrah showed his guts and his determination. Hopefully, Rohit Sharma's been watching because he needs to perhaps perk up a little bit after his series loss against New Zealand. I'm sure he will. But yeah, Australia thought they were going to be on top, like all out for 150. Oh, it's a cakewalk. Well, India showed their strength of character, getting them all out for 104 against the way that Labuschagne batted and blocked and got 2 for virtually, two runs off 100 plus balls is embarrassing. So they were all out for 104. Look at India. I said, right, where this is our chance. Gautam Gambhir would have been whipping them into a frenzy. A fantastic, gutsy opening partnership from Rahul and Jaswal. What a champion. Oh my God. Scored 161. His fourth score of 150 plus at such an early stage of his career. Quite phenomenal. The reality is that he's going to be the next big thing. It's funny, he's the next big thing now, not later. He's doing it now. 161 on his first Test match in Australia. Patakal, well, he was keeping Gill's seat warm, but he did okay. Kohli took advantage of this situation, resurrected what looked like a slightly lagging career. He's a champion never lies down. He's now got 9,140 runs in Test cricket, yet another century. I mean, the man's stats are phenomenal, aren't they? Let me have a look here. So, sir, do you think India? I think India will whitewash them. Yes. I tell you what, they dominate the way they are. Australia's going to find it very hard to get up off the canvas. Adelaide, if India bat this way, will kill it in Adelaide this time round. Even though Australian bowlers were commendable, they're going to find that Australian bowlers have been whacked around 111 overs they've bowled between the 4 of them. 111 overs of 4 bowlers. They're going to find it tough to come back. It'll be very interesting. So let me just have a look at Kohli's stats for a moment. He got 100 today. What do you get the first innings? Kohli got 5. So he's got 105 in his 2 innings. He's not out today. So Kohli, to me, again showing his wares. Let's just look at Kohli's stats for a minute. You see, I had a bowling and look at bats from Australia. MRF, look at that video, guys. Okay, Kohli. He's now 36. He just turned 36 in early November. He has look at his record. Tests. This is 119th test. He's scored now 9,145 runs. He has scored now 30 hundreds and 31 50s. 30 hundreds. Amazing. And in ODIs, he scored 50 hundreds. That's his 81st century in all formats. 19 off Tendulkar. In T20s, he scored 4,000 odd runs with 1 century. So he's actually now scored 81 centuries. 81. The maestro, the master, little master, or the master, I'll say, Sachin Tendulkar scored 100. So Kohli's now 81 hundreds. 30 in Test cricket, 50 in ODIs, 1 in T20. So he's got another 19 centuries. The way he's going, he'll probably get that before too long. Wonderful analysis, thank you. We could see the negativity from Labuschagne in his bowling, they supported by Cummins, and same arrogance we saw in their batting, and which got in there, typically Australian. My God, Samir, that's really, really, really good what you've written there. I'm very, very. I'll pin that message. That message is quite incredible. We could have seen that it's the negativity, the way that Labuschagne chirped off in that second innings. Shut the hell up and bat. And stop this mouthing off. It must annoy the bejeebers out of people. Dave Warner says, oh, that's just him. It would annoy the pants off me. And that attitude, that character within the team is not a helping hand. You need a number 3 to be like an Ian Chappell or a Ricky Ponting in his attitude. You need him to be there and just shut the hell up and bat and show by way of your bat, not carry on like a pork chop. Look at you, got out for 3. It's pathetic. Drop Labuschagne. I'm telling very strongly Australia should drop him. Not because of he's got 4,000 runs. I'm not going to deny that he batted well, but it's his attitude, his importance in the team. He's not a bloody bowler. Look at our headline. If Labuschagne's bowling, we're in big trouble. Exactly. Oh, I can just see him pulling Pat Cummins' pants and going, "Oh, Daddy, I want to bowl. I can bowl, blah, blah, blah." And he bowled crap. He's just a fair dinkum lobber of leg spin. I can't stand him. I'm sorry, I'm against him. Cummins had a very bad game. I think Labuschagne has to go. Better select some of the English and head Hunt Henry Hunt. Well, I must say, Josh English is my man. They've just hit the nail on the head. I would actually open with either Sam Costas and I'd bring Josh English in. So there you go. There's your changes and a potential captain as well, right there and then. I'd have as openers Kawaja and Sam Costas. I have Josh Inglis in there at first or second drop and then continue that way. They're my major changes for the next test. I would have Josh Inglis in place of Labuschagne and Costas in place of McSweeney. You might consider putting McSweeney down the order and keeping him in the team, but I would certainly, and if that's okay, let's be very bold here. Let's be very, very bold and think futuristically. They won't do it, but I'd love to see Costas bat with Kawaja, have Josh English at 3, and potentially 4 with McSweeney. Putting a lot of pressure on McSweeney, that's my only concern. Perhaps dropping him down the order a bit and perhaps bring Travis Head up and leaving Mitch Marsh up as well. But I would if you've got some strength of character, I'd have McSweeney in potentially in the order. So I'd bring in Josh Inglis, certainly, in place of Labuschagne, but have Josh English open, put Sweeney down the order. Smith, I'd be very seriously considering not having in the team as well, and have Sam Costas. Now I'll go back, not Josh English opening. I'll go back, and this is the way I would do it. Sam Costas opening, Kawaja, Josh English at 3. I'd have potentially either Head or McSweeney at 4 and 5. With 6, I'd have Mitch Marsh. Then 7, I'd have leave Alex Carey in there, and then I would consider a bowling change, perhaps maybe for Melbourne. I would, but the 4 bowlers, as in Stark, Hazelwood, and Cummins, did pretty well with Lyon. Are they up for the next test after bowling 111 overs between them, a whole lot of them? That's going to be interesting. And if that is the case, then you'll be considering a change for Melbourne with the likes of Boland for either Melbourne or Nessa for the Gabba tests. There have to be some considerations there. But batting-wise, which is a true failure, 104, and now 3 for 12, McSweeney, if you want to give him a go, let him drop down the order. But I'd start to seriously think about if Smith fails this next innings, out, Labuschagne out. That'd be a dramatic change, I know, but I think that the new guys would have guts. Josh Inglis, gutsy young player, and really has shown his captaincy capabilities, and he can bat well, and he's in form. And there's a lot of discussion about the negativity of Labuschagne. Not just negativity, it's arrogance, this chirpiness. Ugh. What right has he got to talk to Siraj and Bumrah? But they've just shown him up. First innings and second innings, they showed him up completely. Shut the hell up if you're batting number 3 and show your wares with your bat. Shut the hell up, Labuschagne. I'm furious, quite furious the way that I saw him play out there today. So Australia are cheaters, according to me. No, it's not about being cheaters. I mean, Dave Warner's sandpaper gate certainly was out and out cheating, and his crying was poor, to say the best. Steve Smith was pretty gutless when he captained that time, and Bancroft was the scapegoat. But let's not talk about that anymore. They're not cheating now. They're showing up their inabilities, really. And there's been an arrogance through Cricket Australia and the team for some time. It did get a little bit better, I thought, with Pat Cummins. George Bailey, I do commend him as a selector generally, but he's got it wrong this time. McSweeney should be there, but not as an opener. McSweeney is not an opener, period. Down the order, if you want to keep him, with Smith and Labuschagne out, Inglis in and Costas, and give Costas a run. Give him a chance, because he can prove his wares. He may even resurrect the series somewhat with his youthful exuberance. Why do it? You think, oh, it's too early for him. Let him get there later. McSweeney may be too early. Rubbish. India, blooded Shardul Thakur, Washington Sundar, even Gill at a young age, Jaswal at a young age. They're all doing well because they gave them the chance. Reddy's quite young. They gave them a go when they were young. Australia doesn't do that, or hasn't done that of late. And then they panic. Well, no, have some strength of character. Give Sam Costas the opening position. He's 19, admittedly young, but he got back-to-back centuries in one match not long ago. That's what I want to see opening, a true opener. And I'd bring in, of course, with Khawaja, I'd bring in Josh Inglis. He's got the form on the board. He's a captaincy material. He's got guts. He can bat up the order. I'd put him at 3. Honestly, he'd grab the game like an Adam Gilchrist and take it by the string. And he's a great keeper too, but at the moment, I keep him as a bat. So he's not unlike punt. He could take punt on 1-to-1, I reckon. So yeah, I'd have quite a dramatic change. Costas with, and not be afraid to do it. Costas with Khawaja, English 3, 4. McSweeney might be a bit early, but I'm going to say McSweeney with Head and Marsh. That's my team. Steve Smith's form shows to me he's on the outer, I'm afraid. He hasn't batted yet in the second innings. I'll give him that credit. We'll see how he goes. But I'm expecting Australia to go for potentially less than 104. They're 3 for 12. 3 for 12. They're going to struggle to get more than 150. I reckon they're going to struggle to get 104. They've got no hope in hell of getting 537 or whatever it was. 487. 533 they needed. 533. 533. India have doing what Australia's done to many teams. Have a colossus of a lead and run you down with 2 days to go. They've got plenty of time to bowl. They're gonna cruise. India's won by tomorrow. They could well be gone. Australia could be gone before tea tomorrow for less than 104. They're not going to make 200. No hope in hell. It takes Steve Smith to stand up and Travis Head to go a bit crazy, but I actually don't see this happening. Okay. Australia has no bowlers except they've got very much a concern. They haven't blooded the young bowlers through at all. Do you think Australia has lost their aggressive stint? And yeah, they have a bit. India have been dominating ever since Kohli got a hold of this team. He's helped make them dominate now. They're in a position where Kohli's still there and chirping away in the background with his players. With Gautam Gambhir, he hates Australia. He tells you he hates Australia. He has a go at Ponting. He's in that room saying, guys, you fight like your warriors. And they're doing it. Ready. Great example. 41 and 38 not out. Jaswal fought that second innings. The bowlers of Rana fought hard. Bumrah led by example. Amazing, amazing. Do you think the BG is now more competitive than its Ashes? No doubt. Well, more competitive, it certainly is. It hasn't got the history of Ashes. We do think Ashes are a pedestal. I'd say the BGG is starting to rise to the top. Now that it's 5 tests, wow, that gives it prominence. India could smack Australia 4-0, if not 5-0. I cannot see Australia winning a test. Their bowlers have done very well in the first match. They've tried their guts out. They've been commendable, especially Hazelwood with these 21 overs for 28. That's pretty good. But he didn't take the wickets, did he? Uncle Norman deserves super chat. Uncle, I guess I'm an uncle with this beard. Did you consider it to be underdogs in this match? Did I consider India underdogs? You couldn't say that. I think they were pretty much. I thought Australia and India were level pegging. After India's demise against New Zealand, they were dropped a little bit. But I knew that to be an underdog, you've got to lose a few matches and come back at the end. Well, they've started with a bang. That's deadly. I think that they could win 4-0, if not 5-0. I really do now. If they keep this form up and they keep their foot on the throat of Australia, which they seem to be doing, after getting out of 104, they didn't let them go with a pretty average batting performance. They got 487 for 6. They got 533 in front. They put the foot on the jugular, and now they're going to put the foot on the jugular again tomorrow and get Australia out for a paltry 104 or less in the second inning. That's my prediction. 3 for 12. Oh boy. I think the Australian team is overrated because the replacement team not to play. It's somewhat true. Labuschagne, I've always had my irk about Labuschagne, and I was proven right. It took a bit longer than I thought, but it's proven right. We can see okay. Drop McSweeney and include Pekowski. Well, Pekowski's had 95 head knocks. The poor guy should have been blooded earlier, which he was. I think he's played 1 test. He's a sad result, but then do well with Sam Costas. Put him back in there. Okay, he was really close to getting in there. McSweeney needs to drop down the order. I've got no doubt about that. He's not an opener at all. He has never batted as an opener. And people keep on saying to me with their stupid naivety, oh, if you bat 3, you could be in second ball. That's like an opener. Bullshit. Absolute crap. You do not know what you're talking about. If you tell me that I don't know, I'll tell you what you don't know. An opener is an opening batsman. You got it clear? An opener opens. They don't put them up makeshift unless a team player is injured or whatever. You might do it. An opener has to be an opener who knows how to open. To go in after being in the field all day and have a 10-minute break and then go in to bat. That's a special mentality. Having been an opener, I know what I'm talking about. McSweeney, batting 3, does not prepare as an opener. He prepares as a number 3 bat, hoping the openers stick around for a while and he goes in later. If he has to go in, that happens. But they're still not an opener. They have to have a mental approach of an opener. Going in there from the beginning of a day, going in there when there's 10 minutes left, going in there when they've only had 10 minutes turnaround, preparing the field mentally to be an opener. It takes experience to do that, and a lot of experience. It is the most specialist batting position in the team. Number 3, we would argue, probably is as well. But openers are openers, and they're there for a reason. Ian Chappell, one of the best number 3s I've ever seen, was not an opener. Okay? Virat Kohli, probably one of the best number 3s, gone number 4 now, is not an opener. One day T20, maybe, but not in Test cricket. Rohit Sharma's the one that interests me. I think for short format, he's a good opener. Test-wise, yeah, I'd have him in first drop as well, by the way. Gill seems to like that position, and I'll respect that. But Jaswal with Rohit Sharma, okay. Why not leave Jaswal with Rahul and have Gill at 3, potentially Kohli at 4 and 5, Rohit Sharma? It won't happen, I don't think. But Rohit will probably go back to open, and I'll leave that one to that decision. But yeah. Oh, let's look at some of the comments here. Pan creates history. Most expensive player in IPL. Okay, there's been the IPL auction's been on, and Punt creates history. I'm not sure what he's gotten. Well, someone maybe able to tell me what did Punt get? Someone in the message box tell me what Punt got. Well, he deserves it. Look at Rishabh Punt's story, would you? He was the darling of the previous Test series where he, basically helped Australia win the Test series in the last series here in Brisbane. What an amazing series! Well, Punt was right at the forefront of the team, potential captain as well. Yeah, he is an IPL legend. Can you imagine 18 months to 2 years ago, whatever it was, having this very severe car accident, close to death. His left leg was considered to be amputated. His knee was a mess. His back was gone. He was burnt all over the body. He shouldn't have been alive, let alone play cricket again. And then, even though he's a chubby little character, he showed great determination physically and mentally to say, I want to get back to where I was. And he's gotten back, and I would argue he may have gone even better than what he did before. Attitude has been fantastic. Great player to have, great inspiration for India. Gautam Gambhir style player, very gutsy. Gautam Gambhir, let's be careful. He's going to be a great coach. Give him a chance. Against New Zealand, things didn't go right. Again, they were more focused on that. So, Rishabh Punt, most expensive player in IPL history. I still don't know the amount. Can someone tell me the amount? 27 crore. 27 crore. What's that in Australian dollars? What's 27 crore in Australian dollars, guys? Can you tell me that? I'm gonna have a look at them. I'm never a good one to look at the comparisons. 27 crore. What's that? 27. I've got to work on that crore in numbers in dollars. No, not US dollars. 27 crore in Indian. Let me look. I'm not getting what it is. What's 27 crore? Can you tell me? It's 27 million, is it? 27 million. Oh, an extra zero there. Is an extra zero? Yeah, almost 4.9 million Australian. Just shy of 5 million. So Rishabh Pant got 4.9 million Australian dollars, in fact, is that US dollars? That's Australian dollars there. So about, roughly 4.9 million. Wow. That's quite impressive. 4.9 million. Wow, it's very good. We can see, okay, for your information, we haven't played a single test since March, so give them some margin. Okay, Dr. Doug, it's test cricket. I don't care whether you played in March or last week. It's test cricket. You're mentally and physically prepared for it. It's the highest echelon of sport in terms of cricket. You play well from ball one. When you go and play World Test Championship, you haven't got games on the board. New Zealand, for example, showed that when they didn't against in the first match they had. Look, no, I don't disagree with that. I think that Australia should be ready batting wise. So oodles of time. They gave a lot of the guys a go at the state level to have a go. Kawaj has proven again he's there and he's not out. He survived today. No, I think they need to have got their act together. They should have had the opening batting replacement Warner worked out last season. Sam Costa certainly proved his way, and they should have said right then when he scored centuries back to back to leave him in there. Okay. $3.3 million, I reckon, RJ Kumar Singh. I thought 27 crore was 4.9 million. Give me the exact conversion. I'm seeing it as 4.9 million. Because 3.3 wouldn't be the most, AJ, because Stark got 4 million, so it must be 4.9. Aussie should bring Boland and Jai Richardson. Yeah, Boland certainly, but he is one, certainly for Melbourne. Jai Richardson's been injured back and forth. Lance Morris is the guy they should be considering. Out and out fast bowler. Yeah, what's wrong? 3 overs, 3 wickets. Well, McSweeney shouldn't be opening the batting for one. Labuschagne shouldn't be batting 3 with his chirping off for 2. He batted it after Cummins. And Cummins nobly went out there and he wasn't in a position to bat that high anyway. So I do think that 4.9 million. I'm pretty sure Punt's got 4.9 million. Will Australia make batting or bowling pitch for the next? Adelaide's generally a batting track, to be honest with you, and I think Australia's going to need to get batters to bat well on that track. Don't forget, last time India played at Adelaide, they got all out for 36, but they bounced back hard. I can't see India getting 36 again. I can see them dominating like all hell, and that would probably mean Australia suffering. $3 million US is 25 crore. Okay, that's US dollars. So it's literally, it's pretty close to the mark of 6. Yeah, it could be as much. I reckon 5 million is a pretty good figure. 4.9. 36 plus 46 is 156. What's that? I'm not getting a Sunny Singh. What do you mean by those figures? Okay. Green is a big miss. Dr. Doug thinks Green's a big miss. Yeah, I think Mitch Marsh has played pretty well too. Mitch Marsh took wickets in the first innings. He can usually bat a bit. He hasn't batted yet. He's got guts. Yeah, Green, they may have missed him, yes. As a batter, maybe, yes. He normally is batting high in the order. He could well be a number 3. But Labuschagne and Smith, I've got no time for them anymore. I'm not against Smith. Smith had a great career, but he needs to leave on a high. And he's now leaving. He's going that way. Is Smith. Labuschagne's going that way too, big time. But Labuschagne's also mentally going like that. And that's more of a danger to the overall team. His chirping was obvious when I saw that today. Alyssa Healy should open for men's team. There we go. Sonny Singh's made a statement. He thinks that Alyssa Healy should open for Australia. You know what? She could handle it. Be playing with her husband, Mitchell Stark. Could be quite an interesting little pairing. Alyssa Healy's got guts, I'll tell you. Do I think the Testers will go 5? No hope in hell. This test is not going 5 days. Australia's all out tomorrow. It'll take a monumental effort for them to last tomorrow. No, they're all out tomorrow. They could be all out before sea tomorrow, I think. Your prediction, India versus Australia overall, I'm thinking the 4-0, potentially 5-0 could happen. Maybe 4-1. 4-0 definitely, I think, is on the cards, to be honest with you. Definitely on the cards. Massive on the cards. Norman Who should replace McSweeney in the second test. Now, Dark Knight, I don't know whether anyone needs to. Australia won't have the guts to drop Steve Smith, I know, in Labuschagne. They won't have the guts to do that. And McSweeney may go for Josh Inglis. Josh Inglis is the one that should be opening. He's an experienced opener, experienced top-level player. McSweeney should be blooded lower in the order and work his way up. It may be time to I would get rid of Labuschagne and Smith, which leaves McSweeney in and brings in Costas and, well, Costas definitely, and I'd leave McSweeney in. So I would see Labuschagne definitely go and Inglis come in. So I would have Josh Inglis and Costas come in at the expense of not McSweeney necessarily, Smith and Labuschagne, but that would take guts to do that. McSweeney should play 3. Well, he's still not ready for 3. I think he needs to be lower in the order and work his way up. I think number 3 for Australia should have a combination of Sam Costas and Josh Inglis. Why am I picking Sam Costas at 19? McSweeney's also young. Why am I picking him? Because Sam Costas is an opening batter. McSweeney is not an opening batter. That doesn't mean he can't bat high in the order, but not yet. But Costas comes in as an opener, right choice. 502 days is nothing hope. No, Australia's not getting 500 runs. No hope in hell. 3 for 12 down. Steve Smith have to break all records to do that. I can't say that. Heads potentially, but Head won't. No, they won't get many runs. They're mentally out the door at the moment. Remember, was very good play. Yeah, okay. Good evening, Tej Singh. All right. We could really worry about this Australian line. And I'll tell you what, India will put their foot on the throat of Australia now and keep it there. Why? Because they've got Galton Gambhir behind them who's saying, we've got them there, we've got these bastards there, let's keep them there, let's do that. And then they're doing it. Look at the way with Bumrah leading at the moment. And I think when Robert Sharma comes back, he needs to take a leaf out of both Kohli's book in the past and also Bumrah's book now. And well, Robert Sharma's going to insist on being captain. Don't figure he just lost a series as captain in India. Is he mentally ready for it? He's missing out here, and his team's just won without him. I'm not saying he shouldn't be in the team. He should be in the team, but he needs to have his attitude duplicated the way that Bumrah has. Am I Khalistan? Are you from Khalistan? No, I'm not from Khalistan. I'm Norman Kochnik from Australia. I think Dr. Doug thinks we'll come back. Oh, maybe. Well, let's see. Australia will only come back if India take their foot off the throat. That's the key. India were down and out, all out for 150, but they quickly grabbed the match and turned it right around, got our team out for 104. Then we're 6 for 487 today, and now Australia 3 for 12. That's a massive jugular pull of Australia. India have gone, right, we're not going to sit back. We're champions. We beat you last time. We beat you the previous series. We know we can beat you and beat you well. Let's start with a win first up, and that's what they do. They want to dominate from game 1, and they're doing it. India winning the first test. They're clearly going to win this test. Cummins looks tired. He did a bit. Well, he bowled a lot of overs. They bowled between the 4 of them 111 overs in that second innings. 111 in the second innings. Oh boy, that's a lot of overs between 3 fast bowlers and Lyon who bowled 39. Okay. Will Australia miss day 1? I don't care. Warner's retired. I don't miss somebody who claims that they're still going to be there near the phone waiting for a call. Never, ever have I seen a player of test quality with a great, to be called a legend, to be talking once he's left, oh, wait a minute, I'm near the phone, I'm ready. That's disgusting. Disgusting attitude. Shut the hell up. You and Labuschagne. Warner, shut up. Labuschagne, shut up. Warner claims, I never said that. Well, he loved it. I'm near the phone waiting for a call. Mate, you retired, move on. Steve Waugh, Taylor, Clark, Warren, they all went with dignity when they retired. They didn't turn around half an hour and go, oh no, I'm ready for another game. I'm that good, you know that. No one did that. That shows a non-legend. Bumrah's a legend. Bumrah retires. Also, thank you everybody, and never come back, and never claimed that he's waiting by the phone for a call. Can you believe how arrogant that is to be saying, oh, I'm waiting for a call, I'm that great, you're going to miss me? No, mate, go. Warren and Simon's passed away due to an accident. Shane Warne was magnificent. Honestly, he left on 708 wickets on a high. He could have continued 3 or 4 more seasons and beat Morley, but he went on a high. Steve Smith needs to go on a high at the moment. He's on a downward spiralling low. Labuschagne's also on a massive low. When you have the opportunity to go on a high, you go. Australia's missing Warner. I don't care because his attitude doesn't deserve to be there. Hubris, arrogance is what Australia have too much of, especially in the past, and we need to get rid of that attitude. And Warner retiring he's had his time, go. But we haven't prepared well for a replacement. Yes, I agree with it. The man I would say at the moment it should be Josh Inglis. I think it was Michael Vaughan who said that prior to the Test series. I like Michael Vaughan. Michael Vaughan knows what he's talking about. He's a smart cookie. And he said the next player should be the next best bat at the moment. That's Josh Inglis. Agree. Big time. As an opener, potentially, maybe that's where he should be because he is an opener. Right? Josh Inglis is an opener. And even though he's a keeper, he's an opener. And you look at the situation with Sam Costas, an opener. Is India taking revenge on the World Cup and World Test Championship? They're not revengeful. They're just learning how to win from day one, from game one. They stuffed up in Australia and New Zealand, thinking they were going to beat New Zealand easily, and they fell apart, relying on what they thought were the right things, and they fell apart. The reality is that New Zealand did well, and they pulled India's pants down. India now pulled their pants back up, and Gautam Gambhir says, I want warriors. I want to fight from ball one, day one. And that's what's happened. And now they've fought hard, and a weakened Australian side, both physically and mentally, have been downtrodden by them. And now the jugular, they're right there. They've got their foot on the jugular. They're going to hold Australia down. That's what I predict. 3-0 at home is embarrassment. I think it will be. 4-0 will be even a bigger embarrassment. And that would, if Australia end up losing 4-0, 5-0, which is on the cards at this moment, very strong start from India if they keep it up, as long as injuries. Don't forget, last series, India's had 9 of their 11 players on the sideline. 9. The whole team. And they brought youngsters who fought. This time, their fighters are there from day one. Siraj, fighter. Reddy, a young fighter. Punt, a fighter. Kohli certainly is a massive fighter. Jaiswal's proven to be a fighter. Washington Sundar's a fighter. Very clever of India's selections to work out, okay, we've got Ashwin on the Squillian wickets. We've got Jadeja with a great experience, who's an asset, yes. But Washington Sundar, the last time he played here, won with his efforts with Shardul Thakur, Gill, and punts. And that's why they should leave him there. Rana, he's proven to be really good. That's what Manu John's saying. Chris Smith is greatest test batsman of all time after Bradman, but not right now. What do you think, sir? Greatest batsman for all time, Bradman? No, I don't think so. I don't agree with that. Bradman, Tendulkar, Lara, potentially Kohli, Richards. Smith's not in that same league. He's good though, very good. Without Jadeja and Ashwin, India smashed Australia. Exactly. Just shows they can win without them. Really, it's a fantastic position to be in. Now, I've gone just about an hour, guys. How are we going there? I think I've covered it pretty well. The wicket's turning green again. Well, it's not about turning green again. It's about the attitude of the bowlers. Australia were mentally shot after being out in the field for 100-plus overs and bowling 111 overs between the 4. That means they're out there. How many overs they're out there for? Let me have a look just again. Yeah, so punt got close to 4 million. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so Kohli's now scored 81 centuries. Wow. So in that innings, Australia bowled some, 134. 134 overs. After being all out for 104, they were out there for 134 overs. Oh boy. Now, no offense, do you know commentary pronounced wrong with Khawaja? Would you not say would like Kaza? Don't know why he's misspelled his own name. Oh, I don't know what's behind that. I can't comment. Smiling, he was mentally tight. Look, realistically, yeah, Kohli. What do you say about King Kohli's 30th Test ton? I think it's fantastic. He's got great. What a player, really. Kohli's right up there, getting closer and closer to Tendulkar. 81 centuries. 81. Tendulkar scored 100. Kohli could easily reach that. Had a bit of a lean period, but he's still his scoring century, 100 not out. 30 test hundreds, 50 ODI hundreds, and a T20 hundred. It's 81. Whereas the likes of Tendulkar, I think, had 49 test centuries and 51 ODIs centuries. Obviously, the second best player ever in the world behind Bradman. No fear about that. Let's have a look at what Tendulkar's record is. I'm going to just... Tendulkar's, obviously right up there. I mean, the man is batting well at the moment in world cricket is actually Root. No one's talking about him. Smith has fallen away something horrid. Let's have a look here. Let's look at his stats. Let's look at stats. Yeah, so he scored some tests, 200 test matches, centuries. What's the century scenario? Wickets batting, bowling, wickets bowling. Yeah, so Tendulkar scored 51 test centuries and 49 ODIs and no T20 centuries. So Kohli has now scored 30 test centuries as opposed to Tendulkar's 51, but he scored one more century than Tendulkar in ODIs with 50 as opposed to Tendulkar's 49. So Kohli needs another roughly 19 to 20 centuries in Test cricket. Can he do it? He certainly can. Okay, any other questions, guys? I will put Smith ahead of Lara. He performed. I don't agree. Nor Root, Smith or Kohli. They don't play any old like dollars. Okay, it's true. Kohli, Smith, and Root aren't Bradman. They are not Tendulkar. But Lara certainly is close. Viv Richards is certainly very, very close. Even Neil Harvey, I would say, was close. And there's a few other English batters of great note from the past. But in terms of Smith and Root, well, Root's getting close to the accumulation runs. Smith has been excellent, but his days are numbered now and he needs to go on top. When's that going to be? Should pull the plug earlier than he won't, but he should pull the plug earlier than he doesn't want to be told or tapped on the shoulder. He wants to go out on his own foot. Jaspal smashing double century in just 22 years. Yeah, Jaspal's hit 4 scores at Test level above 150. I think 2 double centuries and the 150 plus mark. Brilliant. Kumar Sangakkara, he's up there. He's top 10, top 5 potentially. Yes. Jaspal might break Sachin's record. Well, let's see. Injuries, lack of form, we'll see whether he can continue playing at that level. He certainly is starting off well, that's for sure. All right. I've gone 63 minutes, guys. Any other questions? I'm just curious as to how we're going there. I just want to see if I can pull it up. I put a video on Australian newspapers too, by the way. I don't know whether you saw that. Let's have a look here. You have, what's the name of this particular? On newspapers must view, that's good. My heading for this was "What a Mess, Australia." I'm afraid it certainly is a bit of a mess. No, it's a mess, all right. I have to admit it's a bit of a mess. All right, why Labuschagne is still playing, I don't know. His attitude today and the first things was atrocious. He's 0 in my rating in terms of the attitude. His cockiness, thinking and bowl. It's embarrassing, as we said in the papers. When Labuschagne is bowling, you know Australia's are in big trouble. How accurate was that? Bye bye, Uncle. I'm see something. Do you think? Okay, Mr. Trick by not playing Scott Boland. I think Scott Boland was not the difference because Australia bowled pretty well actually. It was their batting that they needed to sort out. Please, speaking of injuries, put some helmets on the security guys too. Yeah, that's true. The security guard wasn't watching the play, which he's not supposed to, and he got hit. Yeah. Labuschagne is great. Give him some time. Well, he needs to lose his attitude right now. I'm not giving him any time for that. He needs to lose his attitude now, right now. Okay, that's my thoughts wholeheartedly. Lose your attitude now, boy. You can't afford to do not have the attitude sorted out. So there we are. So very, very impressive. Okay, very, very, very impressive indeed. So I'm pretty satisfied with the way that India played. Where's Rohit? But in a second, bat in the second test. Well, he could bat anywhere. Let's be honest. Will they? Because he's the incumbent captain, he probably will open with Jaiswal. Let's be honest. Rahul should bat potentially up the order. Probably will go into Gill's there as well. It doesn't matter. The order will be very fluid because Rahul should open. He won't. It'll be Rohit. But Carroll may well go Gill, Kohli, Rahul, and then punt. Oh my God, that's a really good batting lineup. So Manesha has retracted a message. Why would you retract a message, guys? If you've got something to say it. All right, we've been on the line for 66 minutes. I don't know how many people want to make some more comments. I'll give you another 5 minutes. Please ask me questions. Let's talk about this match. The dominance of India is quite phenomenal. It really is. It's been amazing. The wicket turned green again. That's a great expression. The fact that I love that. India will win the test. What a comeback! It is a great comeback. Within a test to do that. Within a test match after being smashed out for 150 and Australia thinking, oh, this will be a cakewalk, to turn around so quickly is extremely impressive. I'm sure that the little talk that Galton Gambhir gave would have certainly have said that. Have you seen Australia being dominated in Australia? No. Maybe the days of West Indies, maybe. England at certain stages way back, but no, Australia has been dominated. It's a gradual increased domination from winning or starting with a series 2-0 up and then losing 3-2 to now starting with a test match for India and momentum flying through to 4-0. It's Indian dominance is just going through the roof in Australia. Wow. Australia needs new players, I agree. Would you make any changes to the second test for Australia? Yes, Tech Arc, I said I would. My test team would have Josh English in there and would have Sam Costas. Okay? Why? Because Sam Costas is a specialist opener and should bat with Khawaja. First drop, I'd have Josh Inglis. I'd have Labuschagne out. I'd have potentially head a bit high, may go 4. He'd also bring in Brad McSweeney around there. I'd give McSweeney one more game, but then you have to look at the way he plays. South Africa dominated Australia in 2016. What, in Australia? No. I don't remember that. Not in Australia. He's a great coach. He'll be very silent. Gambia is a great coach. He'll be very silent. Well, publicly or to his team? To his team, he's not silent at all. He's been revving them right up. Have you ever seen Australia been? No, as I said earlier, I have not. Not for some time. India has also Moy Morkel as a bowling coach. So he knows the conditions well. That's interesting. That certainly would help. Yeah, so there you go. There you go, guys. Gambia is shy and introvert, but he's a great mind. Well, Sonny Singh, he apparently told Reddy when he went out to bat, go out and be a warrior, go and take him on. That doesn't sound like an introvert to me. Sounds like someone who's really revving his team up, to be honest. Anyway, recap the scores for those that may have joined us a little bit late. Quite an incredible stat with Australia now needing 521 or 22 to win with 7 wickets in hand. Not a hope in hell. No, they've got fat chance of winning this one. I would argue today's the IPL auction is, Chris, and we've found out that punts broke all records with an amount close to 5 million Australian dollars. What, 26 or 20, yeah, 26, 27 crore. Quite incredible. Keeping Aussie bowler in the field for long impact the rest of the series? Yes, big time. Lucky Australia not playing a test next week. They've got a bit of a gap there, but yeah, they're a bit underdone. Well, not underdone, they're overworked perhaps now. Australia need 4 head to get to the target. Yeah, he won't be enough. No, he won't be enough. No way he's enough. Yeah, very interesting indeed, guys. Very, very interesting indeed. Mount John, so he should clear 200 runs by second session tomorrow. Um, I'm struggling to see that. Well, there's no way they're going to get 500. They're not going to win this match. They're going to be all out before the end of this match. Without it, I'm predicting they're all out by tomorrow too. Travis Head should make 400 to win. Mashler, I don't think he's going to make 400 to win. That'll be an absolute miracle. India won't allow that to happen. India also got whitewashed at home last month, so no worries. Yeah, it's true. India did get whitewashed at home by New Zealand, and they could repeat the dose here, but against Australia. India also Head triples 100 loading tomorrow just with. Nah, Sonny Singh, have you been drinking alcohol tonight? Right, it will be hard for Australia to come back for the second test if they lose this one. I agree. Head can't do because he's not a test player. I agree. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Samir Verma, we could see the. Okay, that's one thing. All right, have you ever seen Australia? No, I said that before. No. Ready is Ben Stokes like plus. Hey, he certainly looks like it. 41 and 38, very gutsy, not out performance. I'd agree Head is a 22-20 player, not a test player. I would agree, or an ODI player. I would agree. Absolutely agree. I think the pink ball tests Gabba Aussie with a choice. Well, that is going to be the biggest difficulty for India to win that test in the Gabba if it's a day or nighter. Yes, I agree with that. Could be, but it depends on what Australian bowlers are available then as well, which will be an added plus. And Australia's batters need to get their act together, which I'm afraid they're a long way from having done that, to be honest. So, no, I've got my doubts. I'm just trying to log on here. Okay, so that's pretty impressive, guys. Pretty impressive. All right. Steve Smith should retire now. Well, he'll be retiring on a negative, which is sad, but yeah, I'd agree with that. He may need to retire or he'll be sacked. One of the two. Norman, is there any challenge if you play tests after a long time? No, I don't think so. These guys are seasoned professionals. Siraj and Bumrah and Sharmi, well, oh my God. Where's Sharmi going to fit now? Is Rana bowling really, really well? Very interesting. I'm liking Cuba Connolly. We're going to see him in the match. He's recovering apparently, not completely. Cuba Connolly for Test, no, not yet. They're going to find it hard to replace the Lions and the Mitchell Masters. Bring back Pink Test. 36 without loading. Well, it's not loading at the moment. India are peaking early, but will put their foot on the throat. I think more hyped team and not performing. Yeah, I think India are not hyped. They're doing really well. I haven't seen any team dominate Australia like this for some time. West Indies, many in the 70s, maybe 80s, but that's a long time ago. Long time ago. It's quite disturbing, actually. This is if India continue playing this way, they could break. They could really change them. Well, they have already broken the mindset of Australia. They've beaten them on the last series. They went. I think they beat them on the previous series. They won matches on the previous series. They've not lost. They're not. Australia hasn't won a Border Gavaskar trophy for 10 years. And Australia were very determined to do that. Well, India are more determined, I'm afraid. I'm telling you seriously, if Australia can somehow play Bumrah the first spell they're threatening, well, they can't, can they? Yeah, Steve Smith's going to have to work out what he's doing, I tell you. Cooper Conley will be the next opening star, mark my words. Okay, I'm marking words, but I don't think so. Rishabh Shrivastava, you keep repeating how will you ever have you ever seen Australia? I said no, been dominated, but especially in the first test list, no. Australia's always scored 400 in its first test. They scored 104, and they're 3 for 12. Oh my God, 3 for 12. Oh boy, did they are they got the foot on the throat by the Indians got the foot on the throat of the jugular of Australia at the moment. Keep it there. West Indies will win this test. You mean the test What they're playing? Who are the Windies playing? They're playing elsewhere, aren't they? Windies. Where are the Windies playing? They're playing elsewhere. Okay. They're playing. Who are they playing? I'm not sure offhand. Who are the Windies? Dr. Doug, tell me who the Windies are playing, please. I'm have a momentary old man's mental block there. All right, we've been online now for some 75 minutes, guys. I think we might call it quits soon. Any further questions for me? BGT is more interesting than the Ashes. Well, at the moment, it certainly has it's peaking. It's peaking big time. Okay, here we go. Add response. They're wanting a response about the most expensive player, Rishabh Pant. Quite incredible. Okay. Imagine Bumrah, Shami, and Siraj with pink ball. That could be quite impressive. Oh, so Bangladesh playing West Indies. Okay, Dr. Okay. Who do you think will win the pink ball test? Well, I would have said Australia earlier on, but oh my God, as you said, Bumrah, Rana, Siraj could well be India. Zimbabwe are beating Pakistan. Punt is dangerous. Yes, I agree, Michelle. Zimbabwe's beating Pakistan. I haven't looked at that. Are you sure? Where is it saying? Let's look at this. Okay, let me have a look. Zimbabwe all out for 205. Pakistan 2 for 23. That doesn't mean Zimbabwe's dominant. West Indies are 9 for 450. Bangladesh 2 for 40. Well, that looks pretty dominant. West Indies, let me look at the West Indies endings. We've got, yeah, Michael here, Lewis 97. Alec Athanasi 90. He's a guy I heard of earlier on. Justin Greed 115. Wow. Certainly Pakistan's Bangladesh bowling pretty ordinary comparatively. Well, they got a share of the wickets. Okay. Will this form Khawaja need retirees? No, I don't think Khawaja should retire at all. He's still dominant as hell. Bubba's got better than Modi. Bubba is better than Modi. Was Modi the Indian Prime Minister? What? Any bowlers are bowling very well. They certainly are. Absolutely. 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 Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. They're bowling fantastically. It's so impressive, to be honest with you. It's Boomer leading by example as a captain. Really have a lot of time for him. Really, really have a lot of time for him. Okay. That's many messages we got to. So far, guys, we've had 647 messages. Concurrent viewers at the most is 52. We need to just, have a bit of a concurrent viewers. Okay. Early peak. Yes. Okay. So, another question. What should Australia batters do to counter Bumrah? Just bat more intelligently. Alec Gupta, King Kohli is back. He certainly is. India dominating at all formats. Yes, there certainly are. Kohli or Ronaldo? Well, that depends what sport you like. They're both high on their list of both of their choices. But you have to say Ronaldo or Messi for sure. But Kohli's right up there. I'm telling you right now, he's right up there. Absolutely right up there. I'm just waiting for. So I've said on my heading, "What a mess, Australia," and what amazing effort from India. I'm going to reiterate that quite a bit. I think it's quite an incredible story, actually. Really, quite an incredible story. Let's look here. I've got newspaper articles there, by the way. Interesting to see what they say in the newspapers tomorrow. Is there any fight back left in this test? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm sad to say, no, I don't think so. I think Australia could be out before tea tomorrow, before lunch tomorrow. Definitely before tea. Absolutely before tea. Okay, I show speed in Australia. You should go there. What do you mean I should go? I'm going to the Adelaide test, guys. I couldn't make the Perth test. Obviously, I'll be in the Sydney test. Melbourne and Brisbane, I'm working on as well. Does weather play any role in the next few days? No. Weather looks pretty good, and there's plenty of time for India to get Australia out. Definitely. 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 All right, guys. No more questions. I will then head off. No more questions. Okay, guys. Thanks for joining me today. It was a great live, great situation. India having scored 150, got Australia out for 104, and ended their innings declared 6 for 487 with a 533 lead. Australia 3 for 12, so they're still 521, 522 in arrears with little hope. Chris Rogers was a very good opener. Yes, he was, but he was an opener. That was why he was good. So what I reckon, 2 for 30, 2 for, one and get 2 for 37, 2 for 3, 3 for 2. For the series, I think 4-0 India at the moment, maybe 5-0. That's what I think. I think there's no doubt that it'll be something like that. No doubt. Series 2-3, what do you mean? 2 to Australia, 3 to India? I think it will be probably 4-0 to India. Why Australia wasted 4 tests by making Smith open? Agree. No idea. Close the stream. Okay. I reckon there's something.
What people do is more
Oh, what was that? All right. We're getting there. All right. All right, guys. I'll say goodbye now. So stay, view, like, and share Eyes on Sports, Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnik. Please share. Get more subscribers. Join in. I've got 50,149 and 150 at the moment. I'm very proud of that. And I want you to continue to support me as I will support you. I'll do my level best to make this happen and be a reality. Chris Rogers was like a captain of the Australian team in a way, and he's batting leadership. Yes. Thanks for your insights every time. Thank you, Narajan Bunda. I appreciate your comments. I love you to comment more. Comment on the live, but comment on the post afterwards. Well, comment in the post. You can post comments there as well. So, really post there as well. So, well, I'm just looking at it. Last update. Okay, 2 minutes. Last questions. Anyone? One more. I just want to give everyone a chance to make a comment. Any more questions before I go? 2 minutes. Alec Gupta. Do you think Australia will win this match? No. Draw? No. Australia will lose it. This is the first time Australia team are not performing well. At home, first test, yes, I agree. They almost always win the first test. It's quite a shock to my system, to most people's system. So that is a big shock. Australia never get 104 in the first test innings of a series. Never. They almost always bat first and get 400, especially when the likes of Ponting were around. Mark Taylor, Steve Waugh, even Border, Michael Clark, Adam Gilchrist's time. Remember Wayne Phillips doing it back in the day. He scored a massive first innings. Do you think Australia will win this match? No, I've already talked about it. I like up to saying, no, India's winning this for sure. There's no way on earth Australia's going to have a chance. Charlie Kirk is it? Hey mate, do you reckon Smith and Marnus are past their prime? Definitely Smith, and I don't think Marnus should ever have been there. Again, my test team would be openers: Sam Costas with Kawaja. First drop, Josh English. Second drop, potentially someone like either McSweeney or Head. With Mitch, I know I'm liking Head all of a sudden. I'm not really, but he's going to be the best position. Mitch Marsh, because Cameron Green's not there. Carey and the 4 bowlers, but the 4 bowlers going to be tired. Series prediction. The Ash series prediction is I'm seeing India winning 4-0 now, potentially even 5-0, or 4-1 with Australia winning 1 test match. Not sure when and where that'll happen. Okay. All right, guys. Talk again soon. We'll have a great day. I'll actually finish. So if you like and share my post, subscribe, look at the 1948 Invincibles and Norm Bradman, and we'll say goodbye now. All the best to you from Eyes on Cricket with Norman Koslick, Eyes on Sports. Good night.